fund has disbursed over 3.1 billion for the last 10 years for road maintenance. And this road user satisfaction survey is among the few things that the fund thought needs to put in place. And this is the time we go out in the field. As we send money for road maintenance, this is the time we get a chance to interact with the road users. So the road user satisfaction survey is done across Uganda. We go down there, we talk to the actual road users, we find out how they feel about the fund, what they think we are doing well, where we are doing poorly, what are the challenges they face, and all these things. So this is a way that we get a chance for the road users to feed into the activities of the fund. And that's why we are here. This is the 7th Russ. So we have been doing this for the last 7 years. Every year we go out and talk to our customers who are the users. Allow me now to go to the next item on the agenda. We have our co-chairperson here. She's going to welcome you and give us a few welcome remarks. We are also expecting the Honorable Speaker of Parliament to come, and when she comes, we shall also welcome her. We shall sing the national anthem and the East African anthem. But allow me at this juncture to request our chairperson of the Road Fund to deliver her remarks. Thank you.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My humble duty here is to welcome you. Honorable Minister of Works, Transport, honorable members of Parliament here present, permanent secretaries, members of the Uganda Road Fund Board, heads of government institutions, all government partners. This October 2019, we mark the 10th anniversary of the operational existence of Uganda Road Fund. Road transport is by far the most dominant mode of transport in Uganda, accounting for 99% of total passenger flow and 95% of total goods cargo in the country. Our roads are arguably the country's most valuable asset, with an estimated replacement value of $7.5 billion. Furthermore, our roads are critical in the economic growth of the country, and it is paramount that the maintenance of our roads is adequately and sustainably funded. The most important objective of the Road Fund Board, as enshrined in the URF Act of 2008, is to ensure that public roads are motorable and maintained that way all the time. To that effect, Uganda Road Fund has funded road maintenance programs in excess of 3.1 trillion shillings over the last 10 years for road maintenance works with our designated agencies, who are Uganda National Roads Authority, Kampala Capital City Authority, municipalities and district local governments, including their town councils and sub-counties. It is through initiatives such as this, the Road User Satisfaction Survey, that we are able to measure our progress and also account to our stakeholders, the road users. The 2019 Russ being launched today is the 7th such survey in Uganda and the 3rd to be undertaken by the Road Fund itself. Previous road user satisfaction surveys were undertaken by Crossroads under the auspices of the European Union and the Department for International Development, UK, the DFID, who I wish to take this opportunity to appreciate and thank for the support over the years. As you'll find out in today's presentation and discussions, the survey provides a mechanism through which road users can provide feedback to road agencies on the quality and experience of our roads. The aim of Russ is to highlight road users' perceptions about the road network as a basis to inform road agencies on areas that need improvement in order to enhance user experiences on Uganda's roads. About 400 road users from each of the road user groups are intercepted on district, urban, and community access roads, the DUCAR, national, Kampala city roads, and are interviewed about the following topics. This is how it's done. One, level of satisfaction with Uganda's roads in general and services provided by the individual road agencies in particular. Road safety, availability and quality of road-related facilities such as service bays, public washrooms, police posts, overnight parking, etc., etc. Public awareness of road agencies' responsibilities, opinions on cross-cutting issues in the road subsector, and priorities that need to be addressed by road agencies for a better road user experience, among others. So we have feedback in this report from 400 people on all those issues, about 6 of them. The findings of the survey are disseminated and discussed at different levels in the sector to influence programs and policies aimed at improving road services. And this Russ we undertake because the survey complements and supports a key objective of the Uganda National Transport Master Plan 2008-2023, namely, introduce a monitoring system for the road subsector by providing a simple feedback mechanism to service providers. In addition, it supports one of the principles of the Road Fund, specifically, it contributes towards ensuring that the fund's operations are designed for the provision of the best services to its customers, the road users, while maintaining a high degree of responsiveness to their needs as required by Section 3C of the Uganda Road Fund Act. Finally, on behalf of the Uganda Road Fund Board, I would like to thank government ministries, departments and agencies, namely Ministry of Works and Transport, the Directorate of Traffic and Road Safety of the Uganda Police Force, Uganda National Roads Authority, Kampala Capital City Authority, and the local government agencies that supported the survey. At this juncture, on behalf of the URF Board, I wish to pledge our stakeholders' commitment to continued institutional stewardship, serving with integrity, prudence, transparency, and value, thus ensuring sustainable value for money and accountability in the road maintenance programs funded by the Road Fund. I wish to appreciate and convey our gratitude to the Executive Director and the URF staff for their efforts in preparing this report, always, at all the times it has come out. Thank you, URF. Ladies and gentlemen, I take the honor and privilege to welcome you to the launch of the 2019 Russ report, and thank you for honoring us with your presence.
Is among the board members of URF.
Engineer Alex Onen is also here with us. Engineer Kavuma is here. Then the Uganda Institution of Professional Engineers is represented by the President.
Let me take this opportunity to invite Honorable General Katumba Wamala to come and deliver the speech.
Thank you very much for making the clarification that I'm a Minister of State for Works and not the Minister. I was happy and intrigued by the report of the cow of Kalungu that using the funds from the road fund, the equipment which was given to the district, they have been able to do 90% of the roads in Kalungu, which was a very good thing. I found it very interesting, and I thought I could share that with you. Now let me go into the speech of the Minister. Honorable Ministers, Honorable Members of Parliament, Permanent Secretaries, Development Partners, members of Uganda Road Fund, Road Fund Board and Management, local government leaders and technocrats, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. With great pleasure, I would like to thank the Uganda Road Fund Board management and staff for organizing this event. I also congratulate the fund for conducting the 2019 Road User Satisfaction Survey at which they are going to deliver today. I don't know whether the presence of not so many people means that the road users are now satisfied and they have no need to be here because the last time we had such a function, the hall was full. And I think by then some people were not yet satisfied with the way we are doing business. Honorable members, the sector has been conducting periodic road user satisfaction surveys since 2012 to establish perceptions of road users about the state and quality of service on Uganda's public road network. The Ministry of Works and Transport conducted the surveys through the Crossroads program from 2012 to 2015. When Crossroads closed in 2015, it handed the task back to the ministry, which deemed Uganda Road Fund as the best-placed sector agency to undertake subsequent road user satisfaction survey, starting with the 2016 survey. The 2019 Road Users Satisfaction Survey is therefore the third satisfaction survey conducted by the Uganda Road Fund. In one of the surveys, the question was asked, for whom are these roads made? Are they made for cars or for people? And it turned out that the roads are made for the people, so the people must be satisfied if we are going to be making sense in what we are doing. So the survey responds to a key objective of the National Transport Master Plan 2008-2023, namely to introduce, quote unquote, to introduce a monitoring system for the road subsector by providing a simple feedback mechanism for to the service providers. I'm pleased to note that the findings of the survey indicate an improvement in road user satisfaction. I think that deserves a clap if we are now registering satisfaction. This is an indicator that the recent reforms and huge investments in the sector are starting to pay off. I've noted the gaps that road users have identified in our efforts to offer better, timely, and reliable road services. Our task, therefore, is to ensure that we continue to address the identified gaps so as to meet and sustain a relative level of user satisfaction within the available resources. The report also indicates that road users are particularly not satisfied with the design of our roads as well as the quality and timeliness of road repairs, especially on the district and community access road network. I'm confident that the Roads Act 2018, which has just been passed, that was recently assented to by the President addresses a number of road design-related challenges. The main complaint which you hear on our airwaves, on radio waves and TV is about the size of the road. Everybody is complaining about the size of the road. While that may have some grain of truth, but I think a lot more has to do with our discipline on the road also. But all these are going to be addressed. This, together with ongoing efforts by road agencies to implement the non-motorist transport policy on our roads, especially in urban areas, will go a long way in ensuring more sustainable road designs that meet the needs of all road users, including the often neglected pedestrians and cyclists. To address the challenge of substandard and untimely road repairs, the government, through my ministry, acquired and distributed over 1,150 force account road equipment to road maintenance agencies in the financial year 2017-2018. The new districts which had not been addressed in that issue are going to be addressed also. We're already ordering units for the 13 new districts so that nobody is left behind. Additionally, the ministry trained over 890 operators to operate the equipment. As a result, we are now witnessing faster response to emergency road repairs. In addition, road agencies, particularly district local governments, which previously used to undertake substandard road maintenance works, owing to the lack of equipment for compaction, are now moving away from this practice. We still need to do a lot of supervision by the road fund. You are the ones who give out the money. You need to follow up closely, again, to monitor the use of this money and the equipment as well. We are cognizant of the fact that gaps in road maintenance are enormous. A big portion of Uganda's road network is unpaved, with many roads paved and unpaved in a bad condition. The rains have not made it any better, and this happens nearly every year. Road network conditions are a major determinant of the cost of providing transport. Poor condition of the road network increases vehicle operating costs and ultimately the transport cost. My ministry is working to alleviate these challenges through progressive and transformative initiatives, such as the introduction of the road tolls. Very soon, Entebbe Road will be a toll road. Another toll road is under construction, and this is Busega Mpigi. It will also be a toll road. We are also in advanced stages of the Kampala-Jinja Expressway, which will also be a toll road. I'm pleased to note that the findings of the survey indicate an increasing willingness among road users to pay road tolls. This demonstrates maturity of the public for their willingness to pay for road services. But also it means that people now value their time. People want to travel as fast as possible and be able to do their business as fast as possible. So that's why they're willing to pay an extra coin to be able to travel faster and safely. We shall take advantage of this in our quest for more funding for maintenance of our road network. Another area of poor performance highlighted by the report is the shortage of roadside facilities, especially public washrooms on Ugandan roads. This is a very touching issue. It's a shaming usually to see buses stop and everybody rushing to the bush. I think this one is going to be addressed, and it's also a matter which the whole of the Northern Corridor member states are addressing by establishing rest areas on all the roads at nearly every 80 kilometers so that people can be able to have that kind of service. And that also is contained in the road in the bill. It's a requirement in the new Road Act that every road which is being constructed should have that kind of a facility. The report notes that whereas public washrooms, parking facilities, and vehicle tow services are readily available on the KCCA network, they are largely lacking on national and district road networks. I therefore call upon the private sector to partner with us in bringing such services closer to our road users. Honorable members, I would like to draw special attention to the issue of the road safety. The report indicates that despite improvement in the perceived safety of Uganda's roads in 2019, gaps exist in key areas of road safety, particularly in driver training and compliance to traffic regulations. I think one of the causes of accidents on our road is indiscipline, impatience. Everybody's in a rush to get nowhere, and in the end, we end up in the hospitals. I think we need to also invest heavily in the road safety campaign. We need to invest more money in the road safety campaign because I think people need to be told and told and told again and again. When Fika Salama was started, there was an impact. When Fika Salama relaxed, it went back to square one. So we need to keep the tab on so that we keep the road safety campaigns going on to keep alerting our people that we need to use the roads in a better way than how we are using the roads today. Moreover, this is one of the major contributors to ever-increasing road accidents on our roads. The carnage on our roads is a major public health concern that needs to be dealt with decisively before it spirals out of control. The Roads Act 2018 and the Traffic and Road Safety Amendment Bill, which is on the way, aim to enhance safety on our roads. National Road Safety Council, Transport Licensing Board, Uganda Police, and other relevant institutions should therefore ensure that they play their roles and act decisively on road safety issues, especially those people who misuse the roads. I take this opportunity to thank the government and the Ministry of Finance for allocating us the lion's share in this financial year's budget and over the years. And I hope it doesn't go down. Because there may be a tendency to think that we have now done enough roads and then the budget is cut. So I hope there are people from Ministry of Finance that they hear that they don't cut the budget because after we have done the roads, we have to maintain them. So we shall still need the money to maintain the roads. This is a clear indication of the government's commitment to improving infrastructure, which resonates with the road users' perception and government commitment in the report. I therefore would like to wish you a very good interaction as we review and as we get through the report this morning. Thank you very much. Those were the remarks by the Honourable Minister. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, I think now we are going to the heart of the matter. That is the report that we're releasing today. So the report will say something, and then our experience of today will also say something. But what I want you to understand is that the rains are exceptional a bit. I don't know whether we can say this is a 20-year return or 1 to 50 years. The engineers can tell me. 1 to 50 years return period. And we don't know when it will end. But the rains are also checking the resilience of the roads as built and as maintained. Now, one of the things that is really causing a lot of concerns in that is the state of bridges, and we discussed with the Honorable Katumba Wamala about state of bridges. Bridges are being washed off, culverts are being washed off, embankments are being washed off. So that's one thing I want to prepare your mind about, that we are releasing this report at a time when the rains are also doing a lot of havoc, especially to the earth roads and the maram roads. Nevertheless, the report we're going to release is the collective view of road users in the country. It's not our opinion. It's a collective view of road users in the country. It has been scientifically collected through a tested instrument which was cleared by the transport sector. And it is a sector report. It's not really a road fund report. It's a sector report. Because from the Joint Transport Sector Action Matrix about 7 years ago, the road user satisfaction survey was assigned to road fund. It is a sector action that was assigned to road fund. So it's not a road fund activity or report per se, it's a sector activity. So you cannot fault the process, the instruments and the process that brought it out, and you can only look at the results and compare with previous findings and see how the road users' perceptions are evolving in as far as the road network is concerned. The first reports, just to recap, the first reports showed significant dissatisfaction with the state of the network from road users. There was a slight improvement somewhere in the middle, but it also went back again. Now, this year, as you've heard from the minister's speech, there's some significant improvement, and probably that explains why the road users have now not prioritized coming here, because they are satisfied with the condition of the road. National roads attributes were rated higher than those of other road agencies, which means UNRA has also pulled up their socks. And Duka roads had the lowest rating for all attributes except absence of congestions and KCA. So Duka network, local governments, you still have some work to do. Road services. Ferries with a satisfaction score of 76% were considered the most efficient service provided by road agencies, followed by construction traffic management, 57%, road maintenance, 56%, and road rehabilitation, 50%. So our ferries have done very well in this respect. Others, namely road designs and incident management, were considered unsatisfactory. So the design engineers, you still have a lot of work to do. Now, UNRA was ranked the best performing agency in all services except road rehabilitation. Is UNRA here? Let's clap for UNRA. All our services were deemed satisfactory, of course, with the exception one, that is in management. So I think you need to improve that area. But you see, once a student has scored highly, you thank that student, even if he or she has failed one number. KCCA was the second best ranked in provision of most services, although its performance was subpar on construction, traffic management, road designs, and incident management and restoration. KCCA also comes up well. I hope they're here. Now, road services provided by local governments were mostly unsatisfactory. Now, local governments, you are not doing well at all. In the perception of road users, the Duka agencies, the districts, the municipalities, the sub-counties, the town councils, you are not doing enough to the satisfaction of road users. This is the perception of road users, not road fund. This is a report of our master. Our bosses have given us a report. Our bosses are the road users, the people we work for, the people who pay our salaries. So they are telling us that the local governments are not doing very well. So we need, and yet, according to the general speech, you are given equipment. This equipment should have enabled you to do something. So it's a wake-up call. Overall satisfaction with the designated agency services 2019, there's a summary, which I want you to see. UNRWA was rated at 63%, above both KCCA, which was 57%, and local governments at 53%. So UNRWA, congratulations for winning the heart of the people. And of course, I think this confirms the common saying that empty tins make a lot of noise but do no work. Suddenly, UNRWA went quiet, and everybody thought they were doing nothing. But you can now see the results. Did you notice that UNRWA was so quiet? UNRWA now has been so quiet. It's even like they don't exist anymore. But now results are coming out. Congratulations, UNRWA. Availability of roadside facilities. Percent of road users who are satisfied with the availability of different road facilities. This is tabulated. Public toilets on KCCA roads was 62%, on national roads was 39%, Duka was 31%. The overall satisfaction with public toilets, WC facilities, is 42%. Now, this one speaks something about sanitation. I think we need to wake up to improve sanitation on our roads. We should have this, and I think the General captured that in his speech. We should have these facilities on our roads for the convenience of road users. Roadside parking, KCC at 75%, UNRWA at 55%, Duka at 54%, overall was 59%. I think that was can be ranked as passable. Garages towing, KCC at 72%, national roads at 42%, the local governments at 51%, 54% average. Police post or patrols on KCCA road 77%, national road 63%, Duka network at 53%, average 64%, which means the police presence is visible. Let's clap for our police. Fuel stations, 88% on national roads, on city roads. National roads are 68%, Duka at 56%. So we have 70%, which is good. Now the highest, of course, are the eateries. The 83% on KCCA roads, every hotel here and there. 80% on national roads, 73% on Duka network, almost 80% average. Most facilities were more satisfactorily available on city roads compared to other roads, and of course, because of the high density of population in the city. Users considered eateries, restaurants, and fuel stations as the most available roadside facilities and services. Now, public toilets were considered quite scarce on Uganda's road network, particularly for Duka and national roads. Definitely, if you have a lot of eateries on the roads, then you should also have a lot of toilets. It's common sense. So why should there be a lot of eateries and not toilets? So I think the people who manage roads go back on the drawing board, and we see how we can involve the private sector in providing sanitation facilities on roads. Now, the reasons for dissatisfaction. Most reasons for dissatisfaction among the 43% of road users who are not satisfied with Uganda's road network. Remember, there's 43% of Ugandans who are not satisfied. And that's a significant percentage, by the way. 26% are complaining on narrow roads. They're saying the roads are too narrow. And this one carries over from last year, even the previous years. Narrow roads still a problem. 19% still flag off potholes. And potholes still a problem for them. 16% still talk about inadequate road maintenance, despite the fact that we're sending money quarterly. 12% complain of dust. and 10% complaining of poor drainage. With the exception of narrow roads, the reasons for dissatisfaction are in one way or another a result of inadequate road maintenance. If we can improve road maintenance, these percentages would come down, of course, except for narrow roads, which is a construction problem, but it would come down. Many of these percentages of dissatisfaction would come down. There was an improvement in the perceived safety of Uganda's road in 2009. 58% of road users felt safe on the roads in 2019 compared to 38% in 2017. Road safety still remains is a big issue. Road safety scores rose to 53%, that is 2.58 points, in 2019, from a 41%, 2.24 points in 2017. So there's an improvement in road safety. The improvement was felt across all road user groups in nearly equal magnitudes. The perceived road safety of national roads declined slightly, while Duka and KCCA roads improved. Nevertheless, national roads had the highest road safety score in 2019. Again, we thank UNRWA for that. Western region had the highest road safety score, followed by the East. Differences in road safety were statistically significant by region and road surface type. That is, roads in Western region, Eastern region, and Kampala were considered safer than those in Central and Northern region, while paved roads were considered safer than unpaved roads. What are the main reasons for feeling unsafe? Many reasons for feeling unsafe were the narrow roads, the potholes, the dust, reckless drivers, poor signage 6%, poor drainage 5%, and the same reasons are persistent over the years. The findings also show gaps in enforcement of traffic regulations concerning driver training, driver testing, and possible driving skills gap. I think there needs to be a change in the testing of drivers. 57% of car drivers had learned to drive from a licensed instructor compared to only 11% of motorcyclists. Now that means motorcyclists, you just learn by your own. Cost of driving lessons, 48%, and misguided belief of drivers that lessons are unnecessary, 38%, were cited as a key barriers to driver training. I hope you have got this. Drivers tend to think that training is not necessary. Then the cyclists think that once I buy a motorcycle, somebody teaches me 2 minutes, 3 minutes, I already know how to ride a motorcycle. Ownership of valid driving permits was above 90% of the different driver categories, and only 18% among motorcyclists. You can see, even the defective ones, even the fake ones are having driving permits. That means there's very little relationship between owning a driving permit and being a good driver. Something about our testing. Among drivers who own driving permits, a number were operating vehicles above the class they are legally permitted to operate. Now, this enforcement issue. For example, over a third of taxi drivers had up to Class B driving permits. That is for motorcycles and light goods motor vehicle. But they're driving taxis. The ownership, road users' compliance with the traffic regulations, ownership of a driving permit, overall percent was 73%. Motorcyclists 18%. Bus and taxi drivers, 92%. Motorcar drivers, 93%. Truck drivers, 95%. And the caption down there is 8 in every 10 motorcyclists and about 1 in every 10 motorists did not own a driving permit. 8 in every 10. That means 80% of motorcyclists don't have driving permits. That's what he's saying. These bodabodas are driving you without permits. And 1 in every 10 motorists, that is 10% of these drivers with the suits and gomases, they have no driving permit. Now, the lack of driving permits were mainly attributed to lengthy procedures. That they're discouraged by the lengthy procedures, 54%. Minister of Works will tell us whether it is so. Failure to renew, replace after expiry or loss, 15%. And cost of obtaining a driving permit, they say, is prohibitive. 12% say that it's expensive. Now, driver testing and physical examination. Driver testing, truck drivers, the 93% were tested and physically examined were 97%. Motorcyclists, figures are quite small, 92% and 95%. You can see the graph up there. But the caption says, over 96% of drivers with the driving permits had undergone a driving test and physical examination before being issued with the permits. Over 96% of drivers with the driving permits had done the proper thing, had undergone the driving test and physical examination before being issued. And of course, this is notwithstanding the fact that there are a significant number without those driving permits. Now, 34% no KCCA from 45% in 2017. Now, I don't know why there is this decline. People are knowing KCCA less. Why? And then 32% for local government, down from 37% in 2017. Now, so even the, local government roads, people now don't know it so much. I want to repeat that point. Road users still have a challenge in differentiating the road agencies responsible for specific roads. UNRWA roads are now recognized at 56%. It's easier now for road users to tell that this is a UNRWA road. But for KCCA roads, the awareness was very high 2 years ago. Now it's only 23%. Even for district roads, the awareness was very high 2 years ago at 37%. Now it's at 2%. So we don't know why the public is getting confused. Public knowledge about the functions of road agencies remain limited. For example, over 61% of road users thought that construction of all public roads is the sole responsibility of UNRWA. People think that UNRWA is the jack of all trade. Only about 5% of respondents were aware that UNRWA plays a key role in ferry services, bridge maintenance, and road safety. About 4% still think that roads are maintained by the area politicians, mayors, MPs, and LC5. You can imagine this. Our local people think that this is a gift from the elected leaders. They gift us. When we give them our votes, then they go and praise us. Now, 90% of road users recognize government of Uganda's commitment to improve roads, compared to 84% in 2017. While 83% recognize government's commitment to road safety, same as 2017. I think government has done a good work in popularizing its role among the road users. The road users faulted road agencies on timeliness and quality of road repairs. Sometimes you find culverts heaped just. I think I saw a picture has been on the social media from Missingiro, I think. The engineers have been flashing some pictures. There's from Isingiro where the engineer just put a hump. And it's so embarrassing. It's really embarrassed us. The majority of road users, majority also of the view that road designs don't address needs of vulnerable road user groups, pedestrians, people with disabilities, and cyclists. Overall, respondents felt that road agencies should prioritize the following. So this is from our people. They say that we should prioritize road maintenance. 57%, 55% think so. They say we should prioritize upgrading unpaved roads to paved status. Yes, 55%. Clamor for tarmac. They said we should widen roads. 53%. They said we should construct more roads. 29%. And of course, they should say we should pay attention to road safety. That's 19%. Now, tolling and road user associations. Overall, 70% of motorists, compared to 68% in 2017, were willing to pay tolls and levy. Now, this is good for road fund, that people are willing to pay more money, to put their hands in the pocket, get out money so that we maintain roads. Now, the truck drivers, 76%, and motorcar drivers, 70%, were the most willing. Because these are the people who feel the pain of vehicle operating costs directly on a poor road. Truck driver, when the trucks break down. Bus and taxi drivers at 70% and motorcyclists at 60% were slightly, of course, less willing to pay. Membership to Road User Association is still low, 60%, but majority, 56%, are willing to join such associations given the opportunity. Now, membership was highest among the PSB, passenger service vehicle drivers, 18%, and motorcyclists, 13%. Conclusion. There was significant improvement in road user satisfaction and perceived safety of Uganda's roads in 2019 compared to previous periods. However, this is only barely satisfactory. And this is a very pregnant statement. Gaps still exist, as highlighted by the low scores on road attributes for the Duka network, for road safety and enforcement, limited public awareness of sector issues, unavailability of roadside facilities, among others. The transport sector, needs to critically consider the view of road users and come up with strategies for improvement. Start with those that can be achieved within the available funds. Example, strengthening capacity of local governments to manage their road networks. At the Road Fund, we are doing something modest. We are technical assistance. We are providing technical assistance to some of them, together with the EU, some of the local governments, so that they have capacity. And we are also trying to accelerate registration of engineers, district engineers, so that they can, better effectively, turn around, be turning around money. When we give them money, we can turn around, but they have the human resource, turn around money. Effective management and optimal utilization of the Japanese road equipment. This equipment, when I went around the country, especially when I was in Western region in Mbarara, the key cry from local government is that the equipment idle time is too much, is unacceptable, because fuel is not enough. Equipment idle time is too much, and that is wasting the spare capacity in the country. So the answer is that, unfortunately, Minister of Finance is not here. Is Minister of Finance here? In fact, I would even be surprised if they came, because traditionally, over the last 10 years, that's what they have shown themselves to be. But the point is, local governments are complaining of idle time. I think we are utilizing this equipment below 50%. Below 50% because of lack of fuel. And lack of fuel means there's no money. So the equipment most of the time is idle. That's the cry from agencies in the field when I met them. Enforcement of traffic regulations. The police are here, and I think this is a message that you need to take, that we need to enforce the traffic regulations. And of course, this enforcement goes with the other two arms: education and what? The engineering, the education, and enforcement. And then improving road maintenance financing, among others. This was the traditional problem we have had with the Minister of Finance. And we hope one day it will be resolved. Policy implications of the findings. Now, review the road standards and specifications to meet demand of the ever-increasing road traffic. Road reserves should be enforced. I think that's already been done in the Road Act. So it's now a legal matter if you encroach on road reserves. Review mode of delivery of force account in local governments to meet current road maintenance financing regime. We have talked of one. Reduce the idle time of the equipment. And then, of course, also, improve the supply chain in the force account. I think this is also what came out when I met the local governments in the regions. To improve the supply chain for force account, supplying inputs, maram, spare parts, road materials. So improve supply chain so that they can always have it. Regulate and mainstream road safety into road maintenance, road development, and use. Design and implement programs to strengthen road safety, education, enforcement, including national non-motorized transport policy. We have this gentleman claims to be the only national road safety. Can you stand up? The only national, south of the Sahara, north of Limpopo, nearest to Sahara Desert. He claims to be the only road safety. What's your title? Is the only satisfied one. Is satisfied or certified? Satisfied. He has eaten too much. Road safety something. But in-house, we are trying to enforce that in the financing regime of our programs. So, and of course, the non-motorized transport, these are the pedestrians, the pedestrian people. Then community involvement in road project implementation and monitoring, information sharing road projects should be strengthened. And I realized that when I went and met these agencies, I realized this is where there's a big problem. The community people are not aware of roads, and yet this is the mandate of district road committees. Then, of course, our traditional issue, which we have sung about, and we shall keep on singing about until Jesus Christ comes back, operationalize the second generation road fund for more efficient road maintenance financing. Whether it will arrive in our generation or in the next generation, one day it may arrive. Like the kingdom of God. We were told Jesus Christ is coming back. Every Sunday when we go to church, we are reminded he's now about to come back. Get saved. Prepare. Get saved. So, honorable ministers and delegates, I would want to stop here and thank the Road Fund team for a very good research that they did in bringing out this report. I also urge that the policymakers should pay keen attention to the voice, because it's the echo that we get back from the road users, to pay attention to these issues, but also to recognize the agencies, especially UNRWA and the KCCA, for making those improvements that even road users have noted, and to urge them to continue and stick to that programs so that we can have better results coming. And then also to urge Ministry of Local Government. Understand now you've become a sector. Formerly you were under which sector? Public something management. But now it's now Ministry of Local Government is now a sector. Now that they have been conferred with the status of a sector, let's clap for them for achieving that status. Now that they have been conferred with that very exalted position of status, I think it's now upon them to use that status now to help the local governments. One thing which I got also, and good the minister is here, and I can give you as a feedback, which I got from the local governments, and I think if they're here, they will talk about it. There is creeping re-centralization, which is really discouraging them. Creeping, because there's the decentralization law. But they realize that their powers are now being eroded again by, re-centralization is coming back through the back door. For example, they're even saying that the road fund money that now we send to them is no longer under their control. It's controlled from the center here, from Ministry of Finance. So there's a bit of problem there at the local government level that you may need to go to address. Re-centralization through the back door against the law. And probably that's one of the reasons why their performance has not been so good. I thank you so much and be blessed.
Thank you, Uganda Road Fund, for presenting the 7 news report. Allow me at this juncture to invite the board chairperson. I'll request her to come and invite the Honourable Minister, who is representing the Speaker of Parliament, to make a speech and officially launch this report. I also want to invite our panelists, Honourable Francis Gonahasa, to join the panel in front. Then the Commissioner of Police, Basil Mugisha, will also join us. Honorable Nathan Byanyima is also among the panelists. He's also going to join us.
Colleagues, members of Parliament, the permanent secretaries, development partners, the members of Uganda Road Fund Board, the local government leaders, and all the technocrats from the different MDAs, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Nature does not allow a vacuum, and therefore I'm here to represent the Right Honourable Speaker of Parliament. And I've been given her speech. I will therefore go ahead to read that speech. But before I do that, a lot has been said about local government. And as a local government manager, I felt that I should take off 2 minutes to react. When I entered here, I was interacting with the technical advisor EU, Geoffrey. And when I introduced myself as the Minister of State for Local Government, where the roads are done, he commented that, yes, these are the people who have many roads with little funding. And that may be one of the reasons why maybe we are not performing very well. But the second reason is that local governments handle mainly maram roads, which are not appreciated by many. Many Ugandans appreciate tarmac. So if finance was here, I would plead that we get more money also to start doing tarmac roads so that Ugandans appreciate us. But also most of the money, or the money from road fund, is dedicated to maintenance of roads. So when it comes to opening new roads, again, we have a challenge as local government. But of course, with the new equipments, we are going to improve. Allow me now to read the speech of the Speaker. I greet you all. I would like to commend the Ministry of Works and Transport, led by Minister Engineer Azuba and her colleagues, and the management of the Uganda Road Fund for the initiative of soliciting views from Ugandans on their satisfaction with the level of service delivery in the road subsector. I would like to thank the management of the Uganda Road Fund for organizing this stakeholder engagement event. Thank you very much. Roads are an integral part of the transport system, which need to be efficiently managed in order
to maximize economic and social benefits. Roads play a significant role in achieving national development and contributing to the overall performance and social functioning of the communities. They enhance mobility, taking people out of isolation and therefore poverty. Chief among them was the Roads Bill 2018, which was passed into law by Parliament in May 2019, with the aim of reforming the law relating to management and maintenance of public roads to meet the current realities. Parliament also passed the Traffic and Road Safety Act 1998 Amendment Bill 2018, aimed at banning the importation of vehicles older than 8 years from the date of manufacture. This is all aimed at improving road user experience on our roads. Proposals that Parliament considered not to be in the best interest of the public, such as the compulsory acquisition of land, were rejected. This was meant to create road reserves, but without prior compensation. These were rejected on the basis that it may disadvantage the landowners. Ladies and gentlemen, I have been informed of the operational difficulties the road sector has faced, which could perhaps explain the residual dissatisfaction among some road users. However, I am aware that these challenges are being addressed in a phased manner. A case in point is the fleet of road equipment that was distributed to the road agencies in the financial year 2018-19. I have no doubt that their impact made a major contribution to the improved road user satisfaction we are witnessing today. I therefore take this opportunity to thank the Ministry of Works and Transport for the new road equipment, especially to the district local governments. The onus is now on the districts to ensure that the road equipment is not misused. I request the Minister of Works and Transport and the team in the road sector to strictly monitor the use of the road equipment to ensure that it is efficiently managed, maintained, and utilized. I also encourage the Ministry of Works and Transport to continue with regular training of machine operators to equip them with the necessary skills to utilize the Japanese equipment. Similarly, I request the Minister of Public Service and the Minister for Local Government to ensure that machine operators are well remunerated to avoid losing them the private contractors shortly after they have been trained. In the same spirit, I call upon the Ministry of Works and Transport, together with her sister agencies, to come up with a lasting solution for road safety, which is a major public health concern, as evidenced by the carnage and loss of life on our roads. Road users cannot be satisfied with the roads if they do not feel safe on the same roads. As Parliament, it is our duty to ensure that necessary legislation is in place to provide for safety of road users. However, legislation alone cannot guarantee safety of road users if it is not enforced by the implementing agencies. To this end, I request the Ministry of Works and the Inspector General of Police to ensure that traffic laws are enforced indiscriminately. I am aware of the persistent challenge of insufficient funding for road maintenance, which has negatively impacted the condition of our road network. In particular, Uganda Road Fund is yet to operate as it was intended in the founding act of the Parliament. Instead, the Road Fund is still only reliant on quarterly disbursements from the consolidated fund rather than the road user charges which were meant to be collected to capitalize the fund in undertaking its mandate. I am told that this has been stifled by the need to amend the URA Act to provide for monthly transfers of the allocations by URA to the road fund. This amendment has taken too long. I therefore request the Minister of Finance, Planning and Economic Development to promptly bring this bill to Parliament so that we can have the road fund operate as was envisaged in the Uganda Road Fund Act 2008. Finally, I request the Minister of Works and Transport to come up with the systems and programs to tighten accountability for all resources availed to the sector. I also request our people to get involved in the sustained improvement of our public road network through Bulungi Bwansi or self-help, particularly on community access roads and community monitoring of government projects and programs. I also encourage women and youth to actively participate in road maintenance activities like road gangs in order to improve their household incomes. With these few remarks, ladies and gentlemen, Honorable Minister of Works and Transport, I have the pleasure and the honor, Madam Chairperson, I want now to launch the book. Where is it? On behalf of the NRM government, I have the pleasure to launch the 2019 Road User Satisfaction Survey Report. In the yellow mark. And then I will put the name, I think. And today it is not local government, but speaker.
So now let's start with the show of testosterone, because clearly that's what it is. Now, we'll start with the law enforcement. Commissioner of Police, Basil Mugisha.
The main misusers of roads. But we are having a challenge in road safety.
Let me just paint you an actual picture. From the findings. Many of the road users don't have road licenses, in terms of permits. For one to get a permit, you know what the truth is. That if you stopped 10 people behind the wheels,
Yep.
perhaps 2 have permits. Even those 2, 1 could have expired. Okay, expiry of a road permit, I've always argued that doesn't expire the skill.
So that is not a main challenge. And I predict that like in the next 2 years, we could even reach possibly 99%. Because why I'm saying this, it is because of the support we have received. Our checking of permits has been manual. But now as you move on the road, you will see most traffic officers with gadgets. Those gadgets can check the validity of permits. And by the way, we no longer ask for your permit. We just ask for the permit number. Whether it is written on a piece of paper, whether you have it on your phone, just give us your permit number. And we'll just punch it in that machine and show you everything that is on your permit, including your picture.
Wow.
So with that kind of efficiency, I believe that in the next survey, 99% of the people driving vehicles will be having driving permits, if not 100%.
This one has been incorporated that in the next forthcoming new developments, we are going to have it after each and every 40 kilometers, not even 80, but 40 kilometers. But on the other hand, as you've rightly said, this relates to also issues of land ownership and land acquisition. As you'll appreciate that in the new lands bill, we're looking at having road reserves, extending them from what has been traditionally 30 meters to 50 meters. So that will be able to embrace some of those challenges that we have. But of course, as you rightly mentioned, that government is not good at running businesses. We need to engage the private sector to be able to provide those services in terms of for efficiency and for better utilization. Thank you very much.
How is that shaping up? Because we've seen local governments here being hounded for having the poorest road networks, and their challenge is nothing short of financing. And yet you represent these local governments because that's where your constituencies are. How are we faring?
Yeah, thank you very much. I'll be very brief on the matter of road safety, then I'll come to your question. I really think we have a problem of discipline on the roads. It's not that people who carry permits in their pockets are disciplined. They'll carry the permit, but they have no discipline. When I was a little boy, I was lucky to have grown up in a family where there was a car. My father used to tell me, keep left. But in Kampala today, you keep safe. You keep anything. And that takes me back to this idea of the road signage. We have no signs on the roads. People drive anyhow. So to say the police is too weak.
The road signs are there.
Which ones?
Wait a minute, I'm building my question. I want to challenge you to have a drive with me on the Mbarara bypass.
The milestones,
which is
yes.
the newest road I think we are talking about.
The milestones and the town we are getting into.
I will be more than happy to show you poles where road signs once existed a month or so ago. Many of these road signs are stolen by you and I.
Not me. Okay, I agree with you.
Including reflectors, which
really,
I am told act like light bulbs in the night at home when you put a torch on them.
You see, the problem really is that it's a matter of integrity, and I think I saw it on one of these papers. It's part of the game. Do we have integrity when we do whatever we do? I want to go to that location. I will do anything. I'll drive anywhere. I'll do anything to get there. And I think in the opening remarks of the minister, the presenter, who is the writer, the minister for state, the minister of state, who presented that report, or those remarks, said, we drive in a hurry to go to nowhere and we end up in the hospitals. It's all about discipline. And it all starts with the type of driving schools we have. I drive quite a lot in Kampala, and you'll drive behind a driving school vehicle, and you can't believe what instructions the instructor is giving the man he's teaching or the woman is teaching. This is the person who will get out and drive on our roads. What type of discipline do you expect out of the drivers trained like that? So we have a whole long way to go. Not just training of these people, but for each one of us to respect the life of the person on the road. But we don't. So for me, while the police has an issue to enforce the law, I think each one of us should be the police to ourselves. Because when I bang my car, I'll pay the bill. When I kill the next person, I hurt somebody. So it's really deeper than the acts that we pass in the House. It's deeper than many of the things we think about. The police is helping. When Operation Fika Salama was here, they were in specific places, and everybody knew those places. So we'll drive very safely through those spots, and then drive recklessly through the next spot to get to the next Fika Salama standpoint. So it really starts with all of us. We have to work hard to change our attitude when we use the roads. Now, the issue of road maintenance, of the budgets that we make for building the roads. Yes, we do have good money in the building of the roads. We have very little money on the maintenance. And even if we put money for maintenance, how many times do we have reviews in our budgets? It's again a case of discipline. Do we stand with what we plan to do? We budget money for road maintenance and it's used for something else. The Uganda Road Fund was meant to collect money from every liter of petrol sold, every liter of diesel sold, to be put in the road maintenance fund. But this money is now being used by the Minister of Finance, and I wish they were here to tell us why they do this. So while the House makes good decisions, they are not enforced,
so the Ministry of Finance will wantonly use money meant for something else on the watch of a robust 400-plus member parliament, and all we do is sit at panels in Africana and lament?
I'm not lamenting, and I don't like that word, because I'm telling you the truth. The way this country runs, I happen to be in opposition, and I want to say, if it's wrong, let us say it's wrong, and let's do it right. The road fund funds were legislated to help with road maintenance in the villages. I happen to be a chairman of the district road committee in Kibuku district, but we get very little money to maintain our roads because this money goes to the Ministry of Finance. Why don't we have this money in the ministry, in the road fund accounts? So the question as to whether we are lamenting is a fact. Our hands are tied. I would wish to see better roads made and better roads maintained. But the money goes elsewhere.
The good thing, the gentleman right next to you has been there where you are, and he's now here where he is as a board member of the Uganda Road Fund.
Thank you. Let him tell us.
He's a strong stakeholder in the transport sector in more ways than meets the eye. So, Honorable Nathan Byanyima, Honorable Gonahasa's hands are tied. What about yours? Are they equally tied, or do you have the key to untie his tied hands to ensure that the money you collect as the Uganda Road Fund?
Thank you. I think it's no longer a secret here. I was the chairperson of the Committee of Works in Parliament. We benchmarked the road fund all over African countries, even outside the African continent, with the Minister of Finance and Minister of Works. But you can't believe, when it came to the time of even taking it to cabinet, it was being pushed and pushed back. It was not easy for us to have that bill enacted. So, still up to now, people are not yet comfortable to release the money, the fuel levy. And by the way, we are not talking of the import duty on fuel. We are talking of 100 shillings, as he has put it, just 100 shillings on top of each liter, which the motorists have willingly accepted. That money, currently, it goes up to almost 1.4 trillion. That's what we would have wanted to go to road fund so that our districts, our community access roads can be worked. But you know what happens? Currently now, the politicians are interested in opening the roads officially, which are tarmacked. But the roads which have been maintained don't carry a lot of meaning to voters, when you are opening them. But the thing is like this, that road maintenance in Uganda has been relegated to the back seat of the vehicle. And eventually, 10 years to come, we shall be back to zero. And I'm happy all of you are stakeholders, you know it all, and I have told people several times that one, Today, if you can't get your child, you Kasiate, to a government school in Ibudo or Namagonga anywhere, you'll go to private school. If your mom cannot go to Mrago hospital, you'll go to a private school, a hospital, health center. But how about the roads? It's a mandate of government. So this is a wake-up call. I will continue to not lamenting. We shall continue talking. Because anthropes cannot stop running because the buffer has stopped. We shall continue talking and saying maintenance, now it's good, it's high time we stopped, we reduced on the developing, upgrading the roads, and we go back on maintenance so that they can go in tandem. I thank you.
I think Honorable Yanyima makes a very important observation that I picked. However, the issue of we will continue talking and talking, I think by the end of this conversation on the panel, we may have to agree on what can be done beyond talking. I think you will also agree with me to quote the words of Otto von Bismarck, that the question of the day will not be sorted by long speeches of the majority, but maybe by a bit of iron and blood. And when I talk about iron and blood, Honorable Katumba Amara, you know what I'm talking about. Iron and blood. Now, the Executive Director of the Uganda Road Fund, your board member seems to also have his hands tied. I think now for you, your legs are tied with your hands and you're rolling like a ball. For you are now in Kandoya, to use the words of General Katumba Amara. However, you are collecting money for road maintenance. We are carrying out survey on road usage and the satisfaction of how we find the roads. One has always asked themselves, do we in fact even know how to use the roads we are clamoring to get money to build and to use? What is the road fund doing in terms of sensitization on proper road usage so that those things you build called roads are in fact serving the purpose for which you built them?
So I have been consistent in talking about the money for road maintenance. I went on a tour of districts recently and I spoke it as I needed to speak it. And incidentally, it proved that the message actually sank to our agencies that unless we collect that money, we shall not improve the condition of our roads. You cannot build roads, put trillions in building roads, and put peanuts in maintaining them. That is putting the triangle upside down. So the message is sinking, and I think Minister of Finance needs to heed this message. Unfortunately, Minister of Finance gets their priorities wrong on issues of roads. Now they are even